Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap for Pose. So this week it started off with Pray Tell doing what he does in the ballroom scene, and he's having moments where he's pausing and things are just missing, and you can just tell something's wrong. He's actually letting people know that the AIDS cabaret is coming up and that Blanca was walking around with a fishbowl and all this other stuff. And like every time he was trying to say anything, even when he was judging the category that was happening at the time, which was Back to the Future, he kept having these moments where he was just like in the middle of a sentence, and then he would like have a long pause, and then like since Blanca is very observant, she was in the heat of it. Even though she was doing something, she was just like, okay, something ain't right, what's going on? And so y'all, he eventually passes out. He was sweating profusely. He's trying to drink something to cool himself off. Like the most happened, he done blacked out, y'all. So he done got to the hospital, and he comes to, and he realizes he's in a hospital. Nurse Judy's there, Blanca is there, and Nurse Judy informs him that the medication that he'd been taking, which is the same exact medication that Blanca is taking, is not working, and it's actually going, against what is actually supposed to be happening for him. And a small percentage of people it doesn't work for. So what is it called? AZT. But yeah, it's not working for him. It's actually working against him, and it's really crazy. And he's going to actually be held at the hospital under supervision and all that while they, try to reverse everything. But as of right now, like, he's just basically on lockdown in the hospital. He's so deep in his feelings. He done went off on both of them and told them to get out and some more. Y'all, so tell me why Pray Tell is having a dream. And so he gets this roommate. He really does get a roommate, if I'm not mistaken. And he is introduced to him, and they start talking, and he was like, oh, you're not like all the other ones. The guy, you could tell he was gay, and he had this air about himself. Like, he seemed like he basically tried to make it seem as though he was a little bit above going to the ballroom scene. And he was like, I wouldn't be caught dead in there, or whatever he said. And I was just like, what? Like, anyway, he's college educated and all that. And he mentioned somewhere where he was. And I think Pray Tell has seen him before, but at the moment he couldn't, recollect as to where that was. But yeah, y'all, it was a lot. Anyway, he read him a little bit and told him that he's college educated, and he basically made it seem like he is above going to balls. And I was just like, okay. Y'all, Pray Tell dreamed that the roommate was dying, right? And then he ended up waking up and being in another dream. And Candy appeared to him. Candy was in the room with him, and they were talking, and she was just like, I'm gonna be here until the day you die. Candy did the most. Candy sat up here and gave him a bottle of Valium. And she was like, oh, this is the good stuff. And she was basically like, look, you need to go ahead and take this so you can go ahead and get out of this nightmare now. Basically wanting him to overdose on drugs and just end everything, instead of sitting up there trying to fight for something that at this point it seems as though it is a losing battle. And so I was just like, girl, no. Like, they are doing the most with Candy's character. Y'all, his father came to him in another, well, basically before all that happened, he told Candy, no, I'm fighting for my life. I refuse to go out like this, whatever. Y'all, so then he has another moment where, I don't know if these are, what do they call them? Vivid dreams or lucid dreams or something like that is going on. And somebody's humming, and it turns out that it's his father humming at his bedside. And y'all, apparently this man is his stepfather, and he is now deceased. and he was at his bedside, and Pray Tell was just like, what are you doing here? And he trying to act like everything cool, and he was like, yeah, you molested me. And he was 12 years old, and when all of this started happening, and he was like, you know what, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, because he kept saying all kinds of stuff to him, trying him. He was like, you used to do all this talking, there used to be so much noise and all this coming out of you, but when you were at my funeral, you didn't say one word. And so like Pray Tell was just like, I'm over this, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. And so then like he kind of went away. So he was just like glad that he went away. Y'all, his boyfriend appeared. Costas, I think is what his name was. He appeared to him and he was like, look, you need to block out all the other noise that everybody else has been telling you, and you need to fight. And it's not your time. I was like, oh my gosh, no, Costas, no. Y'all, I had a moment where I was like, because I remember that hospital scene where he was in there literally dying before our eyes. Like he was like withering away by the moments. It was bad. So yeah, he told him that it wasn't his time, and he was like, look, you gonna get ready and I'm gonna take you to this AIDS cabaret. So y'all, look, y'all remember Black Panther? Whatever those little things were that they ground up for them to partake of that were purple, that's exactly what it looked like was in the train of the long coat that Pray Tell had on. It looked like it was like a jacket coat for a man, but then it's just, Pray Tell gotta be extra. And so I ain't gonna lie, I was here for it. I was like, okay. Y'all, so he broke out into a cabaret number. And, it's like he was performing for all of these AIDS patients. And his man was over in the corner watching him and like kind of like, supporting him from afar. And then when he finished what he was doing, he was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, he came to and come to find out Pray Tell been wandering around, and he done went into like the common area, I guess is what it is. Nobody was in there. He was in there by himself. All the chairs and stuff had been pushed somewhere. He was literally like in the middle of the floor. And Judy is like, Pray Tell, Pray Tell. And another person's there with them that's a part of the staff there, because he's just there. And everybody was just like, oh my God. Like, it was bad, y'all. Also, Blanca is at home. And she's actually taking over the responsibilities that Pray Tell had going on before all this stuff happened. So everything basically fell on her. So she was like, well, all this stuff fell on me. I'm going to do what I got to do to, help my friend out. Y'all, she's trying to plan all this stuff. She's trying to do all this stuff by herself. Her kids in the back making all this racket. I was like, why are they so loud today? Y'all, they were so loud that she got tired in her spirit, and she stomped back there to where they were and was like, why y'all loud? Why y'all loud? Why y'all so loud like this? Y'all stressing me out, and this is messing with my dyslexia. Y'all, so then they all apologized or whatever, and Angel ended up hugging her to kind of give her a consoling type of moment, which she did need that, because she's already stressing out about Pray Tell. Don't nobody know what's going to happen to him right now, and it's just a lot. So, she was like, if you need my help, I'll help you, whatever, and all this other stuff, right? So anyway, they had their moment where they were talking, and she was like, look, I just feel like it's all my fault because I kept pressuring him to take the medicine, and he did start taking it, and now he's dying. And so Angel had to tell her, like, you can't blame yourself for that, because it was going to go either way for him. Either it was going to work or it wasn't. So she got to, get her mind together on that, because she really is not the cause of that. So yeah, y'all, Judy showed up for the cabaret, and she was dressed up because she was going to sing. And I was like, okay, all right. Y'all, so Blanca's like, okay, where's Pray Tell? She was like, he ain't coming. She was like, what you mean he ain't coming? And so he's really, really mad at Blanca because She is the one who kept telling him like you should take this medicine or whatever. But at the same time, Judy did too. But he really felt betrayed by her. For some reason, he's really blaming her like it's your fault. You wanted me to take this medicine and look what it did to me. Because I think I told y'all before, well, I might have left it out on accident. What he was trying to do before was he was eating like a pound of butter a day, trying to help to flush it out of himself to the best of his ability, but it wasn't doing anything. So it's just like, okay, y'all, I'm sorry for the background. There are children visiting and they're doing the most. So yeah, excuse me, but yeah. So, you know, she was like, oh no, I ain't got time for this. So she ended up rolling all the way up because apparently what she did was she had it at the hospital that he was in. So she went to his room and they went off on each other. It was bad. I was like, no, like it was so bad. They was cussing each other out. It went off on each other. And, you know, like she was like, why you ain't dressed? It starts in 10 minutes and all this other stuff. He said, I ain't going. She was like, yes, you are going. This is your event, whatever. Y'all cussed each other out. It was bad. And it seemed like he wasn't going to go at first. And then, you know, she said her piece. And then he kind of looked at her and they had their moment of, okay, I guess I forgive you. And she was like, you need to get ready. It starts in 10 minutes. So, yeah. So Judy did a song. And what they did was they had Ricky... what is that boy? I don't want to say his name wrong because I'm like, what is his name? Lulu and the ex-boyfriend of Ricky. I don't know why I always want to say his name wrong. Oh gosh, starts with a D. I don't know why I always want to say his name wrong because I was saying it wrong. Darian, y'all don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, but the three of them were there and they were like everybody's background singers or whatever, and they were doing good. I was like, yes, y'all better do that. Okay, cool. So anyway, Judy did a song and it was really sad and it was good. Like it really fit the theme and all that stuff. But yeah, it was really sad still. And then the lady who is Blanca's landlord popped up. And she told her before that she was going to roll up and she was going to do a song and all this other stuff and that she was going to make a donation there. Y'all, the heifer really did show up and she showed out. And I'm thinking, okay, she has a change of heart. Like she really is feeding us these lies because she cares not at all about the gay community. Y'all, this was all a distraction. She has her, I'm about to say brother, she has her son and a whole lot of other random people down there at Blanca's shop as we speak, gutting it and boarding it up and putting chains on it, putting like do not enter and whatever and all this stuff. Like she can't even get in there to change the locks and some more. And so like she really, like I said, she really set it off with the music. Like she was really singing. Like everybody was like, wait a minute now. And like even her demeanor towards Blanca, it seemed like it was genuine. Like she should have been an actress. Everything she does is her trying to mimic Elizabeth Taylor. And that's what I thought when I first saw her. I was like, this is Elizabeth Taylor-esque to me. And that's what it ended up being. And she basically did mention that was somebody who she always, you know, felt that she was on the level of and all this other stuff. Like she just basically is a ripoff of her. In short, that's what she is. Y'all, I was so tired in my spirit of when that happened. Y'all, Electra tried to sing. She tried to sing. And of course, the children of her house go live to us. Yes, mother, yes. Yes, mother. Yes. I was just like, whew, the lies. I would have just been like, I'm not going to be like, yes, mother. I'm talking about standing up and just hollering. And I was just like, stop. Y'all lying for no reason. But anyway, the lies. They ended up raising over $4,000. And I was like, yes, y'all better do that. So for some reason, she felt compelled in that moment to let everybody know that she is HIV positive. Lulu was like everybody was just like, wait a minute. So yeah, like she gave a very empowering speech, and you know, I was just like, girl, you did a lot. So anyway, that was her segue into doing her little ditty. And so she was doing a song. Wait a minute. It's that Stevie Wonder song. What is the song? It's a well-known Stevie Wonder song. I don't know why I can't remember it at the time. I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, it's a Stevie Wonder song. And so Pray Tell finally drags his behind in there. And he sits down, and so everybody's happy to see him. And, you know, Blanca is still currently singing the song. So she's like, and he looked like, And so she finally gets him to come up there. And they start singing. I really like when they sing together. So that was amazing when that happened. But yeah, y'all, that was a little duet that they ended up doing together. I was like, yes, come through, duet. So yeah, Blanca ended up going out to dinner with the landlady. And the woman basically initially was like, well, you know, I had a really good time. I would love to get to know you. And, you know, what about dessert or something like that? She was like, shoot, I really could go for this, that, and the other. And she was like, well, whatever you want. She was like, you know, she basically was like, well, for 2 hours, she basically was buying 2 more hours. Because at one point, after her little number was over with, she called her son. And, you know, she was like, how is it going? And he was like, we're still not done. We got a lot of it done, but he was basically like, you need to get more, you need to, you know, buy some more time. So this was definitely buying her more time. Oh gosh, y'all, I was so tired. It was too much. But yeah, Pray Tell was eventually able to come home, which was with Blanca and her family. He said that he was happy to be home. Y'all, they ended up fixing a dinner for him to partake of. They had a whole lot of butter in it. And they were saying that this was going to be the way that they were going to flush it out of him. And, you know, he felt like they were hearing him like for the first time in a long time, since he has come to the realization that he has this disease and he really wants to fight to for real live this time. So, you know, with that butter idea that he had before that they were doing, they incorporated in all kinds of dishes. So, you know, they were like, we just gonna give you all this butter and flush that stuff right out of you. So I was like, oh. But he actually is feeling a lot better. And I was so here for it. I was like, yes, do that. Y'all. So after Blanca popped up and realized what was going on, she was like, oh no. And then she went and told Pray Tell what was going on about it or whatever. And, you know, she was like, I'm going to have a protest. And, y'all, she went down to the place and she had, like, it was just her and him or whatever. And Pray Tell was like, you know, you need more people. And she was like, well, where am I going to find people? Y'all, like 50 people from the ballroom scene came and said it all the way out. They was loud. And they had signs, and they really believed in the cause. And even Electra showed up, but you know, she gonna show up if she think a camera gonna be involved. She had on a nice little outfit, and she was like, yeah, you know, I had to show up because, you know, somebody's gotta see this outfit I have on. I was like, girl, no. She did the most. I'm here for it, though. She did the most. But yeah, Pray Tell is at home, and he's either at Blanca's house or he's really at his house this time. Y'all, Candy popped up and she said that she plans to hire him for the rest of the time, and that, you know, until he actually accepts his death. And so he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not giving up. I'm going to fight. So, but she just was talking about the invitation is always going to be open and available to you. I was like, why is she doing this? And y'all, what I neglected to mention earlier is all these people who appeared to him, they all died of AIDS, more than likely. I know Candy actually had AIDS and nobody knew. And, you know, he actually noticed within the first moment that she appeared to him that everybody who she said she was around was somebody who you know, actually died of AIDS. She mentioned Alvin Ailey, and there was this other person that I hadn't heard of in a long time. There was a designer, like y'all, there were people I hadn't heard their names in so long, and I guess it's because they died quite a while back. And of course, since this is the 90s, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's why, because I haven't heard of them in forever. But yeah, y'all, I was like, wait a minute, because he was like, is there a reason that you keep mentioning people who have AIDS? And then, you know, that's when he connected the dots. But yeah, y'all, she had AIDS when she passed away, even though she did not die from that. She was killed, as we all recall. Y'all, this was a really good episode. And I just hate they have Candy doing this. And she's just making it seem as though this is her personal hell that she's living in. At moments, most of the time she says it's her hell, and then other times she says that this is her personal heaven with all the different people that she's around, because she says that she feels as though that the people she's around now, that's why he was able to connect the dots, because she said something about how she feels comfortable around these people because she can now live in her truth, and it was something that she said that made it plain that these people all suffered from complications from AIDS or HIV. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I will see y'all next time. Have a good day. Go ahead and like this if you want to, and subscribe if you haven't. Hope you have a good one.